Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my makeup for the day. Well, for the rest of my day. I was gonna film this in the morning, but I ran out of time and I had to go and pick up some groceries and groceries and a Target order. So I decided to hold off on this. The only thing I did was my skincare routine and sunscreen. So after that, it's usually when I start doing my makeup. So let's get into it. I put everything in this makeup bag. Normally I store my makeup in some of those Alex drawers from IKEA, but I figured it would be more relaxing if I had some rummaging sounds. So everything is in this bag. For the most part, my foundation makeup stays the same, as well as my contour powder and face powders, but everything else I try to alternate. The first thing is going to be my primer, which is the Touch and Soul No Problem Priming Water. Just going to shake that a little bit. What I do is I put 1 or 2 drops on my palm, then I warm it up, and then I pat it on my face. So I try not to put too much of it because a little goes a long way. Okay, so next I'm going to pat. I was considering showing my face for the video, but I'm just not quite ready yet, so I figured I will hold off on that for now. But I do eventually want to do a video where I'll show my face, but once I feel, completely comfortable, then I'll go ahead and do that. So that is patted on. Now let's do foundation. Even though it doesn't get really cold in the winter here in this part of Texas, it's still dry, so I'm gonna combine my Lancome foundation along with the Fit Me Dewy foundation. Now both of these are not my shade. Usually I have another one of these that's deeper tone, and I mix those two, but this one is a little bit deeper, so I'm gonna mix these two to get my shade, because alone it would not be a good match. And for that, I'm going to use my little, what would you call this, mixing plate. So that'd be here, but let me clean that because it's a little dirty. So for that, I have some rubbing alcohol in this bottle. I'll just spray that. Use this little cotton pad to wipe it down. Okay, much better. I just keep rubbing alcohol handy because this is also the area that I do my nails, and when I'm using gel, alcohol's good for wiping off the gel or excess gel. So let's see that. The only thing that I didn't put in the bag was my makeup brushes, so let me get those. I'm gonna use the Makeup Geek foundation brush. Okay, I have that there, and I also like to use a makeup sponge, but I'm gonna have to go and soak it in water because I like to use it wet. So I will be right back, but for you it'll only be 1 second because I'll edit this part out. Okay, so I'm back. The sponge is bigger and I went ahead and rinsed it out, so it's just damp now. I start off with the brush and then I finish off with the makeup sponge to press in the rest of the product. So let me shake this, put some on here. I hate how this doesn't come in a pump, it's just you open it and you dump it out. Or maybe if you can buy the pump separately. That's the case. That's not, I don't know why they do that. Why wouldn't you sell the pump already included? Alright, so I'm gonna mix everything on the mixing dish. And then I'm going to use this little spatula to put the product on my face. And then use the brush to blend it out. Nowadays, that I feel like using a cream, like cream products, like the bronzer and contour and all that. I do use that first before my foundation, but today I'm using powder, so I can just go straight with foundation. And I'll just blend that in with the brush, and then I'll do my forehead now. Get some product, spread that around, and then grab my brush again. I did do my eyebrows before I headed out because they just, at a young age, I overplucked, and now some parts just refuse to grow. So I do have to fill in a little bit to give them a fuller look, which is what I like right now. And I like that the dewy foundation is actually, giving me a dewy look, but not too much. So it's slightly dewy, but not too much. Because when I first bought it and I used it on its own, it was too much. Well, first of all, it was the wrong color and it was too much. So do that. And now I'm going to use the sponge. I will put a little bit of product on there, and then we'll pat that in. And it's okay to put a little bit, well, for me it's okay to use a little bit of product on the sponge before applying it. I feel like when I use the sponge on its own, I get a more sheer look. And this is just to make sure everything stays in place. So just go ahead and keep patting. I do want to brighten up my under eyes a little bit. I did forget that. I forgot my concealer. And this is way lighter than my skin tone, or brighter, but I use very, very small amount. Like, that's how much I use. So just do a tiny, tiny dot, because a little bit goes a long way. It really does. Okay, so I'll use my makeup sponge for that. And then we'll just blend that in. And they'll just help brighten it up a little bit. Because I did stay up late last night. I wasn't sleepy, so I took advantage and did some schoolwork. Because I'm back to school, I'm trying to get some prerequisites out of the way before I apply for a master's program. Alright, so that's good. And then I'm going to go with the foundation side, whatever's left over, and pat it in. Okay. Now, I'm currently going for like a more light to medium coverage. So even though I am wearing foundation, it looks very natural. Only my redness is toned down because I get a little rosy on my cheeks. And it's more, just rosiness is toned down because I used to have, issues with my skin where there was some unevenness. But now that I've been using my skincare products more, daily, like on a daily basis, I can definitely see the change on my skin tone where it's more even now. So that's a good thing. And I think the big thing that helps with that is I've been using sunscreen every day now. Oops. Alright. Let's do eye makeup next. Hold on, let me put on some lip balm right now because they're a little dry. And by the time it's time for my lip makeup, I can wipe off the lip balm and put on the lippy stick. So I use the Hourglass Veil Powder, Veil Translucing Setting Powder under my eyes. I don't use this for all over my face, just under my eyes. But for all over my face, I use the Stellar Haze Setting Powder. Okay. And I like to apply the powder with a dry makeup sponge. I store that in this little baggie right there because I don't want the powder getting everywhere. The reason I set my under eye now is because I saturate the area with the powder so it looks like baking, and I leave it on, and then with that, while that's baking, I do my eye makeup. So in case there's any fallout, I can just brush off the powder without messing up my foundation makeup. No, I've never done it this way. I always do my face makeup first and then my eye makeup. And the few times I've done my makeup first, I don't know. Unless I know that eyeshadow is very powdery and there's a lot of fallout, I rarely do my eye makeup first. Okay. So I wanted to use, I'll use the Elizabeth Moth eye primer, but I'll use the ColourPop Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters palette along with the NARS Extreme Effects. So let me show you that. And then I wanted to use the pinks and add a little bit of these two dark colors right here. Maybe even that one too. So I'll focus on this little area right there. Yeah, okay. So I can put this back because we're done with that. So let me put on the eyeshadow primer first, and I just use the tiniest amount because a little goes a long way, like that much. I use my ring finger like that, and then I press it on my eyelids. Okay. About. And get everywhere on my eyelid area. Okay, so that looks good. Now I'll use my eye brushes. I have a nice little container. Or actually it's a lid for the container. Alright, so let's get rid of that. I'm gonna first go in with this color right here on the crease. I use a fluffy brush for that. This one, like this. Okay. And that's going to be on the outer part. Oh well, I forgot that this primer grips onto the color. Alright, and then I'll blend that out a little bit. And at the very top, close to my eyebrows, I'll use that one right there. Now there's a little bit of shimmer in there, but it's very subtle. Gives it more of like a pearlescent look rather than shimmer. And now I'll move on to my other eye, because with this big fluffy brush, it gets a big area very quickly. And then I'll use that lighter one on below my eyebrow, and then I'll blend that in. And keep blending. And this is blending very nicely. I've always really like using NARS eyeshadows. I remember when I first started working and had a paycheck, the first thing that I bought was those single eyeshadows from Sephora, from NARS. It was a black one with glitter and then a dark blue one. I don't know. I figured black would be a color that I use quite a bit, especially since I was really into smoky eye look back then. Like that intense black eye look. Don't really do that now, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to use my color switch to clean my brush. Now for the very inner part of my eyelid, like the part where I'm going to use a deeper, darker color, I'll use that one right there. And I'll use a smaller brush for that part, like this still somewhat fluffy, but smaller, so I can work that in the areas that I want instead of all over. And then I'll blend that in. And I'm going to do it all over my inner corner. I was thinking of doing a halo eye, but I changed my mind. So we'll just do this all over the inside of my lid where it creases. That's where we'll put this. But I'll drag it out, or I'll make sure to put the color high enough to where when my eyes are open, you can still see it. Because that's the trick with hooded eyes. You can do this amazing eye look, but if you don't bring up the color high enough, then it's lost when your eyes are open and you can't see it unless you have them closed. So just try to bring it up just enough to where it's visible but doesn't take over everything. And that's what I like to do. Alright. Now I'm going to, let's see. I want it like a shimmery pink for my the eyelid part. Because again, if you use a lighter color in that area, it'll make your eye pop and look bigger than what they are. And I have smaller eyes. Wonder if this is light enough. That's a little deep. This one here. Let's see. No, it's a little bit too dark for what I want. Let's see. Okay, so I figured I can use that one right there, or that one too, but yeah, I'll use that for my eyelid to make it pop. I'll just use my finger. Oh, that's really bright. It's so pretty. I forget how like pigmented or how shiny these foiled eyeshadows are. They're so beautiful. Okay. Now I'll use my brush to kind of blend that in. And I'll use this flat brush right here. Flat, fluffy brush. There we go. And I'll focus on the top part so it's more of a seamless blend rather than a harsh line. I think when I do my makeup, what takes the longest is my eye look, especially when I want to use as many colors as I can, because I just start putting a little bit of here and there. Now I'm going to use that one right there on the outer corner only. Use this brush for that. I have to be careful with this one because I think this one is just pressed pigment. Okay. Let's see if there's a dark purple in the NARS palette. So hard to open. Oh, actually there is a deep purple right there, so might do that one instead. Let me switch to that one. I'll use this one on the other eye and then compare and see which one works out best. Okay. So if I start off with the NARS one and then finish with the Hocus Pocus, that will work. Oh, and there you go. Yeah, I do have some fallout with that purple, which I kind of expected that. It's a good thing I have my powder underneath to catch it. Okay. And then I'm gonna use this fluffy brush to blend in the outer edges so it looks seamless and not a harsh line. Oh, that's pretty good. Do I want to do something on my bottom lash line? I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to put a little bit of the pink on my lower eye part. I'm going to put that one right there, and hopefully it comes out looking okay, because if not, it's just going to look like I've been crying. Hopefully not. Let's see. Okay, it's working out so far. I think because it's more peachy, like peachy pink, I'm able to get away with it. But if it was any like leaning more towards red, then it would look like I was crying. But so far we're good. Okay, I like that. And now I can wipe off the powder, the powder I was using for baking under my eyes with this big fluffy brush. And I'll try not to poke my eye because it's such a big fluffy brush. Okay. So let me finish my eye makeup with some eyeliner. Let's see. Try not to be so loud. Okay, so I think to darken up my lower lash line, I'm going to use this dark purple smoke. It's called Smoky Plum from Julep. Oh, I need to sharpen it. So just give me a second while I sharpen this so I don't poke myself with the pencil. I've done that before too when I was like, oh, I'm good. I can still use it. I poked myself with the wooden part and that hurt. Okay, so put this, start on the outer waterline and work my way in, but I'll thin it out as I go in towards my, center of my face. So thicker on the outside and then just barely on the inside. Okay. And then I'll use this at the, should I use this in the top of my, I'll just use this for the bottom, and then I'll use a dark brown for my top eyeliner for a winged eye look. Let's sharpen this also, and then let's do this. Okay. I'm one of those people that I have to hold my eye, like stretch it out to put my eyeliner if I'm doing like, a winged liner. I don't have the skills yet to just put it on its own without holding or stretching out my eyelid. Okay, so let's do that. And I start off with the pencil, and then I finish with the liquid. So I have two here because one of them is drying out and I forgot which one. So I have the KVD tattoo liner in Mad Max Brown, and then a Halaka sharp pen liner in brown. This is a Korean brand, and then if you've seen some of my past videos, I've mentioned that I love Korean eyeliners. They are my favorite. They stay put and they don't transfer to my inner corner like a lot of other, drugstore brands and even like high-end brands, because I've tried Smashbox, Urban Decay, what's another one? A Clinique, and they've all transferred. Like that gunk on the inner corner, outer corner of your eyes, they've all transferred on me, and it's gross. I hate that. But these do not. Like pretty much any Korean brand that I've tried has not transferred. That one was a little dry. I need to repurchase. Okay, that one's good. And I try to just do really close to my eyelash line, because I don't want the eyeliner to be too thick at the top, because then it's gonna make my eyes appear smaller. That's not what I want, because I already have small eyes. I want them to appear bigger. Okay. I messed that up a little bit. I wish I had the skill set to do the perfect winged eyeliner every time. And they're both even. But that's okay. I'm gonna stop messing with that because it looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look bad. That's the point. Because if I keep messing with it, then I'm gonna have to keep making it bolder, and I don't want that. Okay. Alright, so I'm done with the eyelid. Let me get my mascara. I'm using this one right now. The eyelash curler attached to it pretty much sucks, I think. I tried it and I did not like it, so I'm not gonna use it. But I will use the mascara when I'm curling my eyelashes. I like to do it before I apply the mascara, because this way I can avoid making it all gunky, because eventually a little bit of mascara transfers onto the eyelash curler. That's when it starts to get all gross. Okay, and mascara. This mascara it's okay. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's not horrible. It's pretty much the reason why I'm still using it. The one mascara that I really, really like is the It Cosmetics. But I ran out and I missed out on buying it when it was 50% off for like their 21 Days of Beauty, because it's on there pretty much every time. Now, I like to powder my face before I put on any of my powder products, and this is just, I think it helps to blend out my blush and my contour, because if your face is a little tacky and whatever powder you put on first, it's gonna stick on like crazy. So I'm gonna put on a little bit of the powder, and I can just by touching my face lightly, I could tell it's a little tacky. And now I'll go ahead and put on the rest of my face powder products. Start with contour. That's at the very bottom. Okay, got it. I'm using the Lorac Pro Contour Palette. I'm gonna use medium and the deep. I like to mix them both, so I'll go into the medium, then deep, and then medium again. Pat away the excess, and then go in from the outer part of my face towards the inside. And I think I saw this in like a makeup video, like tutorial, and the reason for that is the makeup artist was explaining that if there's too much product still left over on the brush and you start on the outer part and you blend towards your face, the harsh, I guess, lines will be on the outer part, and it's easy, like you can try to blend that out, but if you do it, start from the middle of your face and go outwards, it's going to be harsh on the inside, and you're wanting to fade the product, and it will be harder to fade. That's pretty much what the artist was saying. I'm probably not explaining that very well. It pretty much helps you have a more seamless look. There you go. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of the sides, top, and chin, because I want to slim my face a little bit, or the illusion of slimming my face. Okay, and then blend that in a little bit, so there's no harsh lines. All right, that is it. Next, we're gonna do a little bit of bronzing, and I want to use that one for that. Okay, so, and for bronzing brush, let me get it. I like to use my Wing Gloss. I think this was a holiday collection brush, so if you look at it, it's very fluffy. It's a little bit angled, and it's not dense at all. It's so fluffy. Now, if you're a beginner, this is perfect, so you don't overdo it, because I've seen some bronze makeup that went a little bit overboard, and this is perfect. No matter how much you put on there, you can, as long as you tap it, it just does the lightest, touch of makeup to apply. See how you can just go like that, keep going and going, and you don't have to worry about it. And then tap it, and then go right here, a little bit at the top, so it looks like I've been getting some sun. This is definitely my favorite brush. I loved it so much that I went back and purchased another one, because holiday brushes were, I think, limited. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's still on there. It could be. I have to double check. Alright, next, blush. This is a recent purchase, but I want to put in the rotation. It's the ColourPop Out of Sight from the Poppy collection. There's that one. And I'm gonna use this Real Techniques blush brush. It sounds like I don't know if the camera or the mic is probably picking it up, like a generator. You know, those diesel generators? It sounds like someone's using one outside, doesn't it? It's so annoying. Okay. Alright. That does it for blush, and I am going to use highlighter. Now, the good thing about this one is it's more like a strobing powder. It's not glittery or anything like that. It just gives you a beautiful glow, and that's what I'm going to use the Wet n Wild brush. Get a little bit of that, and then put it on the high parts of my cheekbones, or cheeks, really, because I don't have cheekbones. Bridge of my nose, a little bit on my chin, and that's it. Last part is the lips. But sorry about that. Went ahead and edited that part out. Let me organize this a little bit so I can get to my lip products. Okay, there it is. And then for this, 2 lips, I tend to rotate stuff, but I want to use one of the new products that I got recently from the Color Poppy collection. I'm going to leave that out because it has pencil shavings and I want to throw that out. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to use the, let's see, So Happy lip liner with the Fab Lippy Stick. Let me wipe off this lip balm. It's really bugging me not knowing what that sound is. Or maybe it's someone's air conditioning. That's really loud for that. Okay. The neighbor next door does have a pool, so maybe it's their filter. Okay, I should probably not talk while I'm doing this. That's better. Don't wanna have it smeared all over my lip. Okay. Alright. That is everything. I can take these off. I did blow out my hair earlier, but I want to curl it, so I might do that next after this. Because my mother-in-law got me a curling iron for Christmas that I want to try out. Okay. My hair's getting long. It's like all the way back down here. reaching my stomach. So it's pretty long. Alright. That is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening.